The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Football fans, the time is now.
Give me a hell yeah!
For the football show you never knew you wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Broken Helmet.
Coming to you live on tape on this Saturday, October 11th, 2025. It is the NFL show you have never heard of before. It is the Broken Helmet. Rich Eggy here behind the wheel. Sitting shotgun is Chris. And to get in touch with the show, you can reach us at brokenhelmetshow@gmail.com or on X at Broken Helmet Pod. You can catch us there on mostly all the socials, but like I say, X is really the social of choice. So, Chris, I ask you, have you heard about the crypto carnage that hit the world yesterday? Big news coming out of the financial industry.
No. What's Bitcoin worth now?
You have not. It is now down to, 110,000, I think. It might have dropped below 110,000. It was up at 125,000. But what's funny is that even when something unforeseen happens, somebody knows about it. So since you have not heard about it, I wouldn't imagine that you would have heard of any of this. But let's go to X, where, as you will see here, I am going to play Jack Mack from Barstool. You're familiar with Jack Mack?
Of course.
Okay, all right. I'm familiar with him only because he comes up on the feed. I was not a Barstool. Were you a big Barstool guy?
No, a lot of my coworkers were, and I hear about it every single day.
Yeah, I missed the rise of it. I guess it must have been around because that was, I think, around like 2010, maybe late 2000s. And I was coming out of radio at the time, and like the internet, it hit already, but it was kind of social was just coming on. I remember using like YouTube just to like rip audio clips of like South Park and stuff. But I think Barstool was after that. But anyway, I missed it. So I don't know the whole cast of characters outside of obviously the big guys, right? But anyway, Jack Mack, I always see him do these videos, and I got this one here, and he'll bring you up to speed here on the big crypto hit from Friday.
Yesterday was a historically bad day.
You can hear that, yes?
Traders. There was $19 billion in liquidation over a 24-hour period.
The big parts
to
at the
put
end.
that into context, COVID crashed. There was $1 billion in liquidations. FTX crashed, $1.6 billion in liquidations.
I had nothing at that point.
Yesterday, $19.31 billion in liquidations.
That's with a B.
Here's a look at some wallets.
Big B.
You will see behind
That's a
me,
lot of money.
there were multiple with over $15 million lost in a 24-hour span.
And you know that some of those had to be people, 20-year-olds, maybe 30-year-olds that were just like sitting pretty, living on like the huge amount of zeros in their crypto wallets, right? And then yesterday comes, and then like wham, gonzo. All right, continue on.
Well, they
Crypto
all
didn't go to
just
zero. Bitcoin,
Yeah, they all got smashed. I mean, not everybody, but a lot. But wait, it gets juicy at the end here.
Ethereum did have a tough 24 hours, but they were only down 10-15% at max. But a lot of crypto traders trade on leverage and with meme coins.
Big thing.
And
No
with
leverage.
very risky assets.
Don't
this
do
guy
it.
behind me, have a
Ever.
friend that was close to $30 million net worth. Almost a decade in crypto. Lost the whole $30 million yesterday in 10 minutes on cross margins. An entire decade of multiple generations, he could have retired all gone in 10 minutes. Now, trolling is common in the crypto community, but it didn't seem like it was happening yesterday. We have to take this guy's word, but he said that he lost $15 million lost. He was invested in something called Sui, and he said this industry is a scam. Goodbye forever. I'm liquidated totally. $802,000 lost. Bye-bye, Twitter. There were some very scary tweets, too. People that seemingly lost everything, all of their money, mentally,
can't be happening.
Really in dark places. I've chosen not to share those, but there were a lot of those on Twitter I saw. But what's crazy is yesterday, 30 minutes before Trump's tariff announcement, an individual opened a Hyperliquid account, a place that you can short Bitcoin or long it,
Look at that.
and closed with an $88 million profit. The insider who opened his trade 30 minutes before the Trump tariffs closed his trades for
30 minutes,
$192 million in profits. And then he withdrew everything from Hyperliquid. Now, this could possibly just be good timing, but
Yeah.
let's call a spade a spade. And of course, Jim Cramer told us to buy crypto just a few days ago. And automatic drop. The crypto trenches are dangerous, especially when you're trading on margin.
All right, and blah, 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 blah. But how crazy is that, dude? How nuts is that? That, somebody 30 minutes before the announcement just went nuts, clocked in hundreds of millions.
He shorted it and made 88 million.
Dude, how?
That's so fucking illegal.
How is that even possible? I sent
it's just so obnoxiously illegal.
I said that to my high school friends thread, and McGonagall sent back just a picture of Don Jr. I was like, dude, no doubt. Somebody like that, of course, because, you have to be tapped in to that announcement in order to be able to capitalize like that, right? I mean, there's no other way. No other way.
It's
no other way. I wish I could pick sports like that, right?
Ain't that the truth? Speaking
of which, and I asked you this before, have you tapped into the Rowdy Rhymes? Rowdy Rhymes. Are you familiar with Rowdy Rhymes yet of Twitter
I have
fame?
No idea what that is.
No idea who okay. So Rowdy Rhymes is a new personality that I guess he might be like a month old. Although I think his internet handle or Twitter handle was made in 2020, but he looks unique, sounds unique. If you go to it, you'll see what I mean. I'm trying to describe it without being a shithead, but how he looks and sounds is not important. What is important is that he made up this handle and he started giving away free picks. And this fucking kid has just been like ringing it in. Nothing but winners over and over and over again. I don't know what the number is, but it was crazy. So he came out on Thursday. And on Thursday, he said the Eagles -7, right, was his pick of the day. And obviously the Eagles
got
no good
smoked
on Thursday night, right? But everybody comes out of the woodwork because, the internet, social is just a cesspool of just the worst things of human behavior whatsoever, right?
Well,
and so
X's for sure.
Oh, it all is, dude. It all is. I have a Blue Sky account. I don't use Blue Sky because obviously I'm not of that mindset, but I will go on there to kind of temp check what, Blue Sky mentalities are thinking at any given time about anything, right? And they're just
I don't
as
know.
vile.
I don't know what that is.
So, who was the guy that made Twitter originally? Jack Dorsey? Was that his name?
I don't know. I'm
I
sorry.
think it's Jack Dorsey. It kind of got that like Rick Rubin. I live in a VW trailer look to him. He's got a long, straggly beard and super skinny because he probably just eats like nuts and like different types of grass and shit. But
got it.
He left Twitter. Twitter gets bought by Musk. Musk converts it to X. He goes off and he starts a new Twitter, which was called Blue Sky. And then I guess during the 2024 election, everybody that used to really like Twitter before it was X, they hate it. And it's just the fact that we live in a polar society now and nobody likes it. So Jack Dorsey and whoever the private investors are, they go and they start a new X and it's called Blue Sky. And so now you basically have the right and the left on, because everything's political now, it always is. You have the right and the left on separate social apps, and one side is on X and the other side is on Blue Sky. However, and as I've told you, like Mina Kimes, who I despise, but I was successful in getting her to ban me from her Twitter account, so I'm very happy about that. So when this was the 2024 election, she went on this all-out assault on X, trying to convert people, get them off X, get them over to Blue Sky. she never left Twitter because what everybody has learned is that you can make a new Twitter for all the people of a like mind, but it doesn't mean they're going to go there. So now the numbers on X like just blow Blue Sky out of the water. So, Mina Kimes has 300,000 something on Blue Sky, and she's got, I don't know, over 1 million on X, or maybe it's even more than that at this point. So obviously she continues to stay on the platform where she shits on the platform and the people that are in it, but she still continually plugs her stuff. Why? Because, what do we stand for? Money. That's what we stand for. Anyway. But yeah, so I go on Blue Sky, but it is across the board. X, Twitch, YouTube comments, whatever the social is. Social media is just an awful place. But to go back to Rowdy Rhymes, he was on fire, post this terrible thing about a terrible pick on, and he's lost other ones before, I'm sure, but he posted the one on the Eagles, but then he hit today, and Northwestern ends up winning 22-21 over Penn State, I think the final was. And so, it's just been a crazy 48 hours on X, following people in, trading that have lost their fortunes, and people that are in gambling Twitter. I won't even keep deep diving on gambling Twitter because I just kind of discovered it. But man, it is it's a pretty interesting place to be. Did you watch the show that I posted on Wednesday?
No, wait. What is the gambling? What's gambling Twitter? That's a separate Twitter?
No, it's just Twitter. It's just everybody involved in the gambling space.
Oh.
And it's like its own universe, right? Like it's crazy. It's just full of casts of characters. There's gambling Twitter that's based in Las Vegas. There's gambling Twitter that's all over the place. There's gambling Twitter that is focused just on the current prediction market versus sports book and everybody associated with that. I mean, it's just it's nuts. And I guess it's been around for a while. I was never a big Twitter X guy, but because I just have too many things going on in my life with a wife and 2 kids and my job and all the rest of it. But I try to get a little bit more invested to try to publish the show and maybe throw a zinger here and two, which I failed miserably at. I actually yesterday I tried to throw a joke into a PFF. This guy, Timu Risk. I don't know. Timu Risk. I don't know. A PFF guy. And he posted this thing about edge rushers, and Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett were up on the corner because they were just phenomenal at what they do based on the dot plot that this guy made up. And as a joke, I was like, oh, where's Kenny Clark? And right out of the gate, somebody was just like, did you read it, you asshole? It's edge rushers. And I was like, no, fuck. I'm like, no, I didn't read it. Kenny Clark's a run slay. He's a D tackle. I know. But I don't have my car crash thing, but people were just like, like,
you are a stupid asshole.
That's exactly what he is.
I couldn't walk away from it. It was too late. I already wrote it. And I'm not taking it down because, that's stupid too. So, but anyway, gambling Twitter, and there's just, the world is so big, and it seems like everybody's capitalizing off it, except if you have a 9 to 5. If you have a 9 to 5, good luck making money. But if you make content and you have some kind of social imprint, sure enough, just like this Rowdy Rhymes kid, I think he's almost up to 200,000, and I'm sure that over the next month he'll probably have his own show that's sponsored by FanDuel or whatever, and good for him. That's what everybody wants. But all right, so I bored the shit out of you. So why don't we get going with the show here and doing what we do? For those unfamiliar with it, for the Let's Bet show, we do 4 downs. First, we do a review of our performance. Second down are the big games. Third down is the rest of the slate. And then fourth down, we give you our picks and then our wagers. So without further ado,
First down.
I'm just so you know, I'm listening to you. I'm just thoroughly intrigued by this Blue Sky shit.
Oh, that's where you're in on now, is Blue Sky?
I'm going through every one of these posts. This is extremely democratic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, completely, dude. It's straight left. It was made for one reason and one reason only, and that was like to pump out like the one ideology, right? They just got tired of X being not Twitter anymore, so they made a new Twitter. right? And it's blue, and it's a, you know, and I think it's a butterfly, right? It's it's just, you know, it's what one would think.
Yeah, there was a post I just saw that said, "Good morning, fuck Trump."
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's a ton of there's a ton of that, right? So if you deep dive on it, it's all, you know. Whereas X will be, you know, fuck the left, Blue Sky is fuck the right, right? And they're both equally, you know, in that case, equally stupid. But X is more established. So if you really want to get the all-encompassing, eclectic environment that there is for any given industry, you know, X is the place to go. If you don't want to hear, I guess, right ideology and that kind of mindset, if you're just like fixated on hearing that, then you know, Blue Sky is the place for you, because there definitely is a much bigger filter.
If I were you, and that
Thank
means
God you're not.
That
Thank
means
God you're not. Thank God nobody
that
is.
means if I were you, and I'm sitting in your mindset, which is one of the most extremely opinionated political people I know.
Oh, it's not political though, but I mean, I am
would
opinionated. That's for fucking shit, sure.
I would avoid X and Blue Sky as much as possible, because this shit is just gonna rile you up to the point where you're gonna lose your shit.
Oh, I mean, I think actually, in reality, I have hit the peak of it being infuriated with people. I think I'm done being, you know, angered by people any more than I can be. I have been disappointed to the umpteenth degree. I'm good.
Yeah,
Now I'm getting to the point that I can laugh at it. Now,
I can't read that.
What, a Blue Sky?
I can't.
Oh, I mean, you get to a point where it's a lot of it is just straight laughable, right?
Yeah,
Especially because a lot of it, you know, a lot of it is just pure falsehoods. And I know that everybody says the same thing, but like right now, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know if you've seen the Jimmy Kimmel, like he's being lauded. And I think, who was it? Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke went on his show a week ago and brought out some big paper, or went to shake his hand. There was a big paper. All these people around Hollywood signed it saying they support Jimmy Kimmel. And Ethan Hawke came out. And at one point, Ethan Hawke called him a hero. Fucking hero. And I was like, a hero? I mean, you know, I think there's a lot of people in the Army just taking bullets and, you know, and having artillery shoot past their ears that would beg to differ that Jimmy Kimmel sitting in his fucking ranch, you know, in the beaches of California is a hero. But
I mean, who's Ethan Hawke to even say anybody's a hero? Like, what the fuck is Ethan Hawke talking about?
Again, but this is... we say that, and if we were super rich and super famous, maybe we'd think the same way. I think that, like, when you become rich and famous, they like bring you into a closet, and they're just like, "This is what you got to do, and this is how you have to think, and you can't be like that anymore." And then if you don't, they just like beat you with
actor is famous anymore, bro.
No, they. Oh, come on, they are too. They are too.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. There's definitely fame still to come out of Hollywood, you know, and the record industry and all the rest of it. You know, I mean, you could just do it on your own.
Maybe for the record industry, but for the fucking movie industry, man, I don't even know how these companies are surviving.
Well, I mean, they're all struggling, but I think right now the industry is built on the need for the app owners for subscribers. So
of course it is. You know, that's
you know what I mean?
Not like news. That's that's what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. I'm not Einstein here. I never claimed to be fucking smart. I'm not a Rhodes Scholar. But what I'm saying is that it's just the fact that Netflix needs content, Paramount Plus needs content, everybody and their goddamn brother needs content. So what do? They're just shoveling money at all these established Hollywood people, right? And this is where the problem is, that you get into basically like any kind of content generation. I don't even know what to call it anymore. I just call it content generation. It could be movies, could be music, it could be TV, whatever it is. Like, it is good luck trying to break into those industries now, right? Because, like, remember when we were growing up?
I don't even think people are doing that. I don't even know who.
No, I think
people still fucking going to LA
be an actor and actress and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, but like, what do you remember back in the day? People were like, "I'm gonna go to LA with
Yeah,
the
there was no
shirt on my
internet, right?
back," and like, you know,
Yeah, because you
I'm
had to
gonna
mix
make
and
it.
mingle with everybody. Yeah, there's definitely still something to be said for the networking to get you there. But I think there is infinitely more money to be had right now in a lot of other fields, and I think that you could probably do shit yourself, on the internet. I don't know about being discovered. Like, I don't know where the next generation of like movie stars comes from, right? I guess maybe.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not the famous thing anymore. Like, people are just doing it from their fucking house with an iPhone 17 Pro Max, making like movies.
Well, I think that there's a lot more interest in the fame brought to you through social than there is through movies and TV. You know,
Sure.
I think everybody wants to be the next Dave Portnoy more than they want to be the next Brad Pitt.
I mean, look at my wife, dude. That's what she does.
Yeah, well, I
She's
mean,
just,
but it is. I don't want to say it's finite because it's not niche because it is the majority. I think we're probably niche now that we don't exist in that or like think of that as the. But my kids don't watch TV. They don't watch TV. I mean, movies they go to, they stream them. But if you ask them, like what TV station, they won't even go. I use the Direct TV stream. They won't even touch it. Won't even sniff it. They're like,
no,
fuck that.
my kids have zero interest in YouTube TV.
Yeah, no. YouTube they'll watch. They don't even do YouTube. Well, they do YouTube, but I mean, it's all just streaming. It's just streaming. And a lot of it is like shorts, and their brain has just been fried into the short form content.
The
And we
other
used
thing I noticed is that none of the kids that are like 5 to 10 years old that I know thoroughly watch sports or follow sports like we used to. Like
Oh no.
that was the thing, man. And like, I don't see none of these kids follow sports or statistics or anything like we did growing up.
No, but they do follow sports games, right?
Yeah.
Who's the
Yep.
better Madden player, 2K this player.
Correct.
And they also are right now, it's in a boom, is card collecting.
Yeah, I know.
Or
That
card
goes in
breaking.
waves.
And go to the archives for the Broken Helmet. I did a show with Zach Krantz, who I worked with in the radio industry at 790 The Ticket, and he was from QAM and then went back to QAM. He is now kind of like he's like the old dirty bastard of backyard breaks. They call him backyard radio. He does live at $1. But anyway, I was able to snag him for I think like 30, 40 minutes. His phone was choppy. I couldn't get him. He was driving home from, I think, the studios. But anyway, good episodes to go back and listen to that, and you can get a little refresh on the card breaking industry. But card breaking right now is huge, and these things trade like crypto. I mean, it's really nuts how big that industry got, and just a shame how much money that we invested in terrible years of cards, all those baseball and basketball and all that shit, like just terrible. But to bring it back to what you were saying, like the kids don't watch content the way that we used to. I actually asked Anthony and Mason in the car separately on different drives to school. I'm like, do you know any radio stations? And they knew none. What stations they did know was XM, Sirius XM. They were able to rattle off a couple that I play all the time. Like Mason was like Pop Rocks. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And he was like, Lithium. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, you got those two. I'm like, any local ones with like numbers, like
I don't.
100.3, 101.1.
But
They're like,
people
no.
don't even. But people don't even have radio in their car. Like, CarPlay comes on my car. I just
Oh no, I
instantly.
agree. I'm just saying, like, that's how detached we are from like what is the current method of digesting music, right? Or TV.
I don't even know how radio survives, dude. I
Well, they've
still
been
can't.
saying it was going to die. Well, consolidation, right? So now they pay people peanuts and they just consolidate it all. And I don't know, 94.7 The Block, which is an old school radio station now here in New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area. I listen to it all the time because it's all the stuff that we grew up in the 90s, right? maybe a little bit more than you because I'm old as fuck, but they have like, they have Ed Lover. Remember from Dr. Dre and Ed Lover? They did UMTV Raps, and then they did 97.1 in the morning forever. He'll go in and you can hear it. Like he just records probably 45 minutes of audio in his house done between breaks. He probably creates the copy or they hand him the copy. He records the 45 minutes. They chop it up and they make like a 3-hour show in it. And it's just like music, him into music, him again. And he probably, that's how they've gotten by. So they probably do that on all big stations, right? So, here's DJ X. They record the one copy. It gets blasted all to the local stations. It's kind of like, it's the same satellite model, right? Now it's just everywhere. So, but they knew no DJs. They knew nobody. No DJs at all. They didn't know a single one.
They couldn't name like Z100, Hot 97,
No.
Q1043.
DJs, it didn't matter. They could name a couple of Sirius XM satellite stations because they're easier to remember. But like Z100, no, not a chance. WPLJ doesn't even exist anymore. 101.1, which used to be the oldie station, and now it's just like the greatest of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They keep changing. But they couldn't name anybody. And to be honest,
101.1 is not there anymore?
101.1 is, but it's not the oldies. It's not the 50s and 60s, right? Because the 50s and 60s died, and so they got rid of it, and I think they went to like Jack FM or something like that, and they did this, we'll play anything at any given time, and then they went back
Jack
to the
FM's
oldies.
Great.
Yeah, well, that died out too. And then they went back to the oldies, but they kind of chopped off the 50s. So it was like 60s, 70s, and 80s. And now, more or less, it's not rooted in at time at all. It's just kind of like pop hits, and we'll dip our toe once in a while in those 70s. But I can't tell you the last time I heard a 60s show on it, or a 60s song on it. Maybe they might touch Beatles, but for the most part, no. I mean, you're getting 70s, 80s, and 90s. So, and it still plays at Hans Auto Body at 440 Pullis Road, Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, at all times.
Although, of course it does.
Yes, yeah, that's never changed. And it still blasts on an FM CD radio by the one of the bay doors with a metal paintbrush connected to the broken antenna, and that's how they get their free content, is through a radio. Go fucking figure. All right. Anyway, 30 minutes into the show here. Enough is enough. Let's get into where we're at performance-wise, and I will fire this up here. This is the stats from last week. Dogs were the winner. The big note here, and I mentioned this on the show earlier in the week, was the Dogs were 8 for 8. So that was a big win for the Dogs. And true to form is now on the year, the Dogs winning outright are 69% on the season. Nothing really else to kind of take away here. Halftime leads were kind of shaky, which is why you saw a lot of the results that you did on the year. They're at 72%. Big road favorites. There was only one game. That was the Lions. They ended up winning on the season. They're at 58%, which is, different than years past. That number usually comes down, but big road favorites 7-5. It's not a huge edge, but it's something that has differed from the years prior that we have done the show. Trifectas were 2 and 3, so they're still 33% on the year. As for me and you did not have a good week. I had a better week, but it didn't matter because I also was over in the gambling column. But I was 8-5 for the 272, which is where we pick all the games. So that put me at 54% for the year. Didn't matter. My super picks were 1-4 for the second week in a row. Give me a fucking break. And I lost my best bet to drop me to 1-4 there. So I just tankaroo all over the place. Meanwhile, you were 3-10. So that dropped you down. Your best bet, actually, that's a loss. That should read L and not W. I'll check that now. But I did have the stats correct here at 4-1 for 80%. So that was your first L on the best bets for the year. We are still, well, at least I am better than the Sharps, tickets, and the money pool. You are better than the tickets and right in line with the Sharps and the money pool as everybody last week was under 500, with the exception of the money pool, which should have been 3. I forget what that was. I think they were 6 and 8 too. I have it written down somewhere, but whatever. They are 42% on the year last week. I'll just pull it up quick, and the money pool was 5 and 8. 5 and 8 was that one. So nothing better than doing adjustments to your exhibits in the middle of a podcast. That is a content creation 101 right there. So that was it. So performance wise, here is where it was just bomberoos. As you can see, we both lost. I lost 1,000. You lost just under 1,200. You're still positive on the year at 4% margin. That's not minus 4%. That's 4%. But you obviously you started different than I did. You started actually it is minus 4, I think, because you started at 9. And
88. I'm at 8,800. I started at 8,800.
You started 8,800. Yeah, so you're under $200. I don't think that's 4%. I got to check the formula there, but regardless, you're now at a negative. Meanwhile, me, I know this number is right because I have checked it, and I am at minus 30% margin on the year.
Your life force is running out.
Dude.
Terrible. Well, I went through all the different weeks, and the problem is that my best bets that and my super picks, which I've leveraged in a lot of my gambling, have all been wrong. Like I said, I'm 1 and 2 and 8 over the past 2 weeks with my super picks. So nothing that I put together has worked. Now, a couple of weeks ago, there were just a couple of games that really hit me hard. I guess I was over leveraged. Going back to Twitter, right? And the Jack Mac posting about crypto, over leveraged. So Green Bay hit me the 1 week. Baltimore hit me the other week. If those two games alone came in, that would have given me, I think, like an extra 2,500 or something at my account. But this is gambling, and they didn't come in. So, looking back compared to week 1, which I did do, I've just been betting more. I've been betting more, and now it's just gotten to a point where I started at 8,500. I'm down in dollars. $2,500, but in margin, I mean, it's just terrific. I mean, 30% is just
You're down
awful.
30% in gambling, yet you're having one of the best years I've ever seen you have in fantasy football, which is crazy. So you're like the opposite end.
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. I'm blowing up in fantasy. That's a good man right there. That's a good man right there.
You never ever start out the way you're starting out. I pray for your well-being that you hold on, because I do not want to be around you if your team starts to collapse.
Oh, I mean, right now, though, I will tell you what.
Get off your asses. Party time.
Yeah, baby. We are dancing in the streets of Rich Eggy Fantasyland. Yeah, I am undefeated in the league that I commish with you, and in your league, I have 2 losses, which basically counts to 1 game. So I think and we play 2 games a week, so we've gone through 5. So I think I'm 10 and 1, 10 and 1 in that league is what it breaks out to. But look, both those leagues are IDP leagues. And I took the same approach to all 3 of my IDP leagues, and it's worked out in 2, and it hasn't worked out in 1. But that was, I really thought that I could grab IDP talent later in the draft that could still give me the same kind of average points that it would have if I tried to grab the big name guys. And I decided I wanted to invest those rounds when everybody jumped in on depth. And so that depth has helped me, extra running backs, extra wide receivers, taking chances on guys. Now my teams can go south real quick. I'm not bragging at any point. In my league where I'm undefeated, Saquon Barkley is a huge, huge red flag because he's not having a good year.
No.
Now
not
at all. And I've gotten away with not getting big points out of that position. But again, if you're in a league and your number 1 draft pick is averaging like 10 points, you're in trouble. That's not good. Like you need You need 2 of your top 4 picks if you really want to win a league, in my mind, to kind of clock in at 20. And if you don't get the 20 out of those top 4, you need to get 20 somewhere else. And that's where I looked out with Javonte Williams this year. He's been fucking crushing it, dude. Crushing it.
He's been really, really good.
Fantastic. And everybody, I mean, a lot of people went on Jaden Blue, right? Because they thought that he was going to come through. And that was another thing. What do you think about the rookie running backs this year?
They're trash.
Trash. Awful. Every single one has been a whiff.
Yep.
Hampton now to the IR. And he was the best of the bunch.
I have zero stock in him.
I have zero stock in Hampton. I think I might have him in one league. I've got to go through. I got to admit.
The only rookies I have are in the keeper league I do, and I have Travion and RJ Harvey on the bench, but those are deep benches.
Travion Henderson owners.
I am in so much pain right now.
When is this guy going to come through, if ever?
Well, now, I mean, we'll see this week because Gibson's out for the year.
Yeah. Well, you needed an injury for that to happen, right?
Yep. They hate him. They don't like him there. Well, Vrabel doesn't like him.
I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, he was a huge pick 2 years ago, right?
He's not even that team isn't based around the running backs. They literally their whole team is based around their quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's not my point. My point is that in regards to the running back position, people grabbed Henderson because they thought, because Stevenson had kind of, he's older running back now. I mean, not old, but he's older in terms of NFL years.
Yeah.
Henderson was going to go to the top. He was a huge pick. I gassed on him in a couple of places. Then it has not worked out at all. Now, your guy in Vegas is looking good over the past couple of weeks.
Who?
Genty, dude.
Oh, Genty. Yeah, he looks good. I thought you were going to make a crack about fucking Geno Smith.
No, Geno Smith is Garbaggio. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
He's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL right now for interceptions thrown.
Congratulations. That's what you get when you pull Carroll off the scrap heap and throw him in there.
$90 million.
It's really
Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly. That's what we do, bruh.
Did you see the stats on Genty in his Mike Myers position to the the 2-point stance?
He's doing so good with it now.
Yeah,
he just changed his whole thing just to do that.
And Amy Trask, who I don't know if you follow her. She was a big time Raider exec. She's a big time Raider exec, and she's not involved in management anymore, but she does content like everybody else. But she was laughing about it because she was throwing up these stats. I saw it on X, obviously, like everything, like everybody. But she was throwing it the the Michael Myers stance to the Chip Kelly forced 2-point stance. And her whole thing was, why would you make this guy who kicked ass last year, Heisman candidate, all of it, and make him change his stance? Like, why would you do that? Like, what does it matter what stance he's in? He does what he does. Let him do it that way. And sure enough, they went back and, but that's Chip Kelly, right?
It's just like Le'Veon Bell. Everybody has their own unique thing that they do, and you should just let them be that way, or. No,
I don't have anywhere I was going to do a rewind. Le'Veon Bell, did you see his most recent post, which was funny? I actually posted it to the show's Twitter.
No, I don't follow Le'Veon Bell.
He posted everybody right now to cash in on whatever money is to be had advertising wise is partnered with Poly Market or with Kalshi or with any of the prediction markets because they're just throwing money at people, as mules to get their name out there. And so Le'Veon Bell posted the Eagles, I think the Eagles money line or the Eagles spread, and then it was for Poly Market. And then he was like, "Oh, this app is going to change the world." And this was Polymarket still is not legal in the U.S. And he's like, this app's going to change everything, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm going to post this. And so everybody just laughed at him. They were like, hey, asshole, Polymarket isn't legal in the States. So there's no way that you could have bet on Polymarket. And you ended up picking the Eagles.
What is, I don't even know what Polymarket is. What's Polymarket?
The prediction markets. So, as you know, when Jersey got the Supreme Court decision in their favor, that allowed states to legalize sports gambling. And so those rights were left at the state level until the end of last year. I think it was the end of 2024, the beginning of 2025. Kalshi, which is a prediction market, they're the companies that were taking all of the bets on the polling. So who's going to win the election? Trump, Biden. What app is going to be number one in the Apple store this week? What movie is going to be number one? They never touch sports because it's kind of understood that that's sports wagering. And then Kalshi out of nowhere, or Kalshi or Kalshi, I could be mispronouncing it. I don't give a shit. But they whipped out of nowhere. They were like, oh, now we're going to end up doing sports gambling. And I forget what it was. It might have been the Super Bowl, which would have put them in February. If it was in the end of 2024, I don't know what it would have been. But they started taking sports wagers. And operators were just like, they're involved in sports gambling. This is not legal. By the very definition of what's been told, this is not legal. And they didn't care. And so they kept pressing and they kept pressing. Now, Polymarket isn't legal in the U.S. at all, but they do the same thing just overseas. And so now it's become, you can look it up, and I'm actually going to do a podcast on it. I'm trying to look to get some people that could speak to it because the whole thing is fascinating to me. But at this point, I won't deep dive into the politics of it. But when the big, beautiful bill passed, there was a gambling part that was put on to the Senate bill that changed the taxation of your winnings that favored Kalshi and prediction markets. And as a result, this thing has just spiraled to the point that Kalshi basically Kalshi is fighting, I don't know, 10, 15 court cases trying to make themselves legal. And if they prove themselves to be legal because they call themselves a prediction market and they're not the house. They make their money on the transactions. So Kalshi takes you and your bet, matches it to me and my bet. We're on opposite sides. And then they let us wager against each other. And then Kalshi books a transaction fee for that. And so they're not the house. So technically, they're not sports wagering. They're an exchange. And that is the semantical workaround. And they've tried to argue this into derivatives trading and commodities.
Sure, it's pari-mutuel wagering. It's the same thing that horse racing does.
It's everything about it is the same thing. But the CFTC, which is the legislative body that oversees derivatives markets and these exchanges, will not offer guidance, and they will not say anything. So all the operators have been filing suit, and then all the courts say, well, the CFTC has to decide, and they're not opening their mouths, so we don't know what to tell you. Like
there's no way they're gonna keep doing that. That's not illegal. Pari-mutuel wagering is not illegal. To have an exchange, it's just like any racetrack. It's the same shit they do.
No,
you're wagering against each. Yes, you are. You're wagering against each other with other people's money. If I win, I'm winning your money.
Yes. Okay. To that extent, you're right. However, I'd have to Google it. I don't want to do it now, but there's a difference between the two. There's a strict difference between the two. It's not pari-mutuel. But I mean, maybe it is. I mean, we'll do. Why don't we do this? Since this shit is quick as hell, we'll just ask ChatGPT: is prediction markets pari-mutuel betting? Damn it! Why won't it spell pari-mutuel for me? Pari-mutuel. I got fat fingers, and it's destroying the podcast here. Betting. And ChatGPT's answer is, drum roll, please. Prediction markets are not pari-mutuel betting, though they share some conceptual similarities. is. In a pari-mutuel system used for horse racing, all bets go into a common pool. It's the common pool thing. The house takes a cut, which is the takeout. So pari-mutuel betting, there's a cut. So there is a house. Prediction markets have no house. You're trading shares.
A house is the same thing as an exchange service.
Well, no, because Saratoga is the house.
Saratoga is the house, which is why they're taking a rake. But in an exchange service, they're the ones that are taking a fee to authorize the transaction.
Yes, but that's not a rake. They're not taking a rake.
It's the same concept. Conceptually speaking.
It is the same concept. You're right. Everything about this is, and I'll go one step further. Everything about this is conceptually sports gambling, right?
Yeah.
It's all semantics. It's words. It's fucking words, and they've taken it to the umpteenth degree.
I get it. To beat it's the same thing they do with drugs in this day and age, where they have to change a chemical to put it onto the market. Shit I deal with on a daily basis, where they take something like kratom, which is a very famous drug that you can buy over the counter right now, and it becomes illegal, and all I do is change one chemical in it or give it a different name with a different molecular formula, and they beat the law and they make it legal again. It's like you're saying, it's semantics. It's
all
the
semantics.
Words. Yes.
It's all semantics. And little side note, have you ever seen the movie Deep Cover? That was the premise for the movie Deep Cover. Fantastic movie.
Yes.
Lawrence Fishburne, who I think he might have been Larry Fishburne at that point. I think he was Larry Fishburne. Larry Fishburne's changed his name to Lawrence Fishburne, and he hates Larry Fishburne. And he gets into fights with people, and they call him Larry Fishburne. But it was Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum. And it was the movie from which Deep Cover, the song, came from, which was the introduction of Snoop Doggy Dogg at the time. Not Snoop Dogg, Snoop Doggy Dogg. And one of the most famous rap beats you'll ever hear in your life, right? Which was redone by Fat Joe and Big Pun as called, I think it was Twins Deep Cover. But anyway, the premise of that movie was that they took cocaine and they changed one variant or something in the molecular construction of it, and then they made it legal or whatever. So, but anyway, good movie for those. I think it was 1990, maybe 89, 89, 90 Deep Cover. Go watch it. Larry Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum. Lawrence, sorry, Lawrence. That's a Cameron bit too, by the way. But we're back to the gambling part. You're right. It is all semantics, and they're the house. And what's even more defining of the house is that they're now offering parlays and player props. So they have a whole big chart of all the player props, all the different ladders, plus 30 yards, plus 40 yards, et cetera, et cetera. And you can pick and choose those, at will, and you get filled. So if there's no house, how does that happen? You know what I mean?
They're just trying to match. I get what they're doing. They're just waiting for somebody.
Well, operationally, I'm asking you, you really mean to tell me that they're not a house, they're just an exchange, they're matching bets, and for any bet that I want, there's somebody on the opposite side that's going to take that bet? Because if they're the exchange, they can't get involved.
I mean, if you're instantly getting that, within a millisecond, like you're hitting it and somebody's already matched to it, that's a little sketchy.
Completely, right?
If I'm going online to I don't know, play a video game, and I'm playing online and you got to match up with somebody, it's never like an instant you match with somebody. It's always like you got to wait a couple seconds until somebody else logs in and wants to play.
Exactly.
So I would think it would take, at least a couple seconds till somebody else, or at least maybe a minute till somebody else matches it. But that's pretty unique. But it also depends on, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Well, here it is. So I brought this up the other day. So we'll go to this real quick here. So, I gotta hop off that, but because I was going back to what do you call it? I was trying to go back to, let's do this, stop the screen share, and then screen share again, but I want to do this. So, and then we will flip over here back to the Twitter feed. And this is what I did want to show you. So this was a post that I saw the other day. This guy, Dustin Gauker, I guess, he is, I think he's a reporter or a lawyer. He writes newsletters about the industry, and he was writing about how Kalshi had this NFL yardage player prop up here. And he was talking about the user interface leaves a lot to be desired. And so I wrote back to that. I said, here's my question, but if I can't get because I can't get my hands around it, how do they have liquidity for all of these things? And then somebody wrote back, and damn it, Rich, if you could just learn how to do this seamlessly. This guy, John Grant, who I don't know who this guy is. He's probably another, no, he's just a guy. But he wrote about artificial liquidity provided through Susquehanna. Now, Susquehanna is some kind of investor in Kalshi, and I haven't looked up what Susquehanna is, but I imagine it's got to be some kind of tech or financial firm that ultimately matches you automatically. And they probably eat it on their side, and then they match it down the line. And what they say, he says this is a pilot. They have not been crossing their I's and dotting their T's, saying one thing, doing the other, which is highly unlikely they win a court case since they contradict themselves. Now, I'd have to look more into the Susquehanna thing, but that's what I'm saying. It's not, they are a house.
Susquehanna is just a firm that gets, that's just somebody that bid for that and they won. They're just a service for that company.
Well, okay, granted, but my point is that you're not going to have that much liquidity. So somebody,
of course, why not? Why not? There's billions upon billions of dollars.
You cannot have liquidity without a house. You cannot have liquidity at every single price point of every single bet that you offer, much less parlays. You mean to tell me I do this leg, that leg, and the third leg,
but
and you're going to have another?
That's their scapegoat. Susquehanna is their fall guy. That's their scapegoat. That's how they're probably doing this. Is they're just like, listen, we have a shell company, Susquehanna, where we have billions of dollars in it. That's not, if it comes down to it and we get sued or we get in trouble, that's just going to be a shell fucking company of all these billions of dollars. They don't fucking care.
Well, no, but you couldn't even, no, legally you can't just set up a fall guy. Like they'll come after you too. Like, I mean, and
yeah,
I don't know
that's
legal
what I'm saying.
Terminology for it, right? Collusion, not collusion, but whatever. You can't just do that. You can't just set up a shell company that basically acts as a house, and you're basically a house by proxy.
Of course you can't do it. Of course you can't do it.
But that's
they're
what they're doing
it.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, if I get into an illegal company, right? I know what they're fucking doing is illegal. I go in, I do what I do.
You're selling crack in the 80s.
Selling crack in the 80s.
There you go.
I'm in, I get my money, I'm going to bury that fucking money, and then if I get caught, I'll pay the fine, and I'm out. That's what they're doing.
I mean, that usually is the legal process, is the risk versus reward. And usually the risk is a lot of money, and the reward is a lot of money, and the risk is some nominal fine. That
I am genuinely close to somebody who was in a company that essentially got in a lot of trouble because they were scamming people, and that person made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, and the government came after them, and they had to pay. They had to pay the fine.
Yeah, as one would have to, yes.
And then they make them sign a contract that you're never going to do this again.
Right. And so long as you're net positive and it was worth your time, what does it matter? Welcome to capitalism. Right? Capitalism and the legal industry.
But this has nothing to do with our bets. So maybe.
All right, so here we go. Here's second down. Away we go.
Second down.
We'll just do 2 games. We'll do them real quick. The first game, we will head out to Jacksonville, where the Jaguars coming off the big win versus Kansas City, which killed both of us. That was a brutal loss for me because I was hoping it was going to cover at least a chunk of my losses, and it did not. Jaguars were favored by 1.5. They are now dogs by 1.5 to the Seattle Seahawks, who just came off the 38-35 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week at home. Jaguars currently are a favorite for the Sharps, but then the tickets and the money pool are on Seattle. 63% of the tickets, 78% of the money pool. This was a trifecta game earlier for Seattle. However, the Sharps have now flipped over to the Jaguars. You explain to me how the Seahawks are favored here on the road when they're losing a bunch of people from their secondary, and the Jaguars just won and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't figure this game out, and this makes me square as fuck because I am all over the Jaguars, and this is going to cost me again this week.
I didn't see them flip. Yesterday it was 1.5 for the Jaguars.
It's flipped. I just went to FanDuel earlier before. It's minus 1.5 Seahawks.
It flipped 3 points.
Well, I mean, that's an easy flip, right? Because
I know it's not like going.
It's just the inverse,
right? It's not like going 7.5 down to 4.5.
Yeah.
But why?
Well, I mean, you would imagine that you know a lot of money came on one side, so they flipped it to get the money going on the other side again.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying why did it happen. I'm saying why are people going after Seattle knowing that they're. I mean, I pick Seattle. I fucking hate Jacksonville. I will not bet Jacksonville. I will not pick Jacksonville. I do not have any faith in that team. I cannot believe.
I'm the same, bro.
I cannot believe they.
I have to go with him here. Like Liam Cohen, I was making fun of him because he was so aloof and weird, and the Duval and him fighting with Lawrence. But you know what? Like if you watch the team, the lines are playing good. The defense has just been. Here's the one thing I'm scared of is that even last week, and I can't say that I was right when you lose, but I was talking to Dad on the phone, and he argues the same way. He's just like, "Look, you can't argue what didn't happen." He was like,
"He's all about them." I know. I talked to him.
He's
twice
like, "Jaguars won
about this,"
but I was like, "Yeah, no." But if the Jaguars don't get that pick six, and Kansas City goes in,
he fought me the other side too, and I was like, "Okay, Dad, whatever."
Yeah, well, he was talking about the touchdown earlier in the game or something that got wiped away.
They shouldn't have gotten that, but if you don't get that, then you still get a field goal. It's like you can't. The pick six changed the entire game.
Pick six changed the whole game.
That game's over.
It literally was a one possession game. Maybe two if you want to count that last touchdown that Jaguars got, but very similar to if you happen to watch the Giants-Saints game. The Giants win that game if Scottaboo doesn't fumble that ball and it get returned for 6 points, right? It's the same thing. It's like it's one single play. So if they go in for the touchdown there and they don't throw the pick six, I think Kansas City walks away from that game. And they still had a chance to win. But regardless, Jacksonville has been mopping up on the turnover battle this year, and I didn't think it was going to happen last week, and it ended up winning the game with a pick six. And now you got Sam Darnold. And I know Sam Darnold played good last year. I know he's played okay this year. It can't continue. He's ultimately going to come back down to earth. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not going to take away from the performances he had. Give him his credit. I'm not saying flowers. Fuck all you people that say this flowers bullshit all the time. But I'll give him credit. He's been performing well, but now he's got to go cross country, do this again against a team that's just won versus the Chiefs, and their team lost at home to the Buccaneers, who were really banged up. Fun game to watch, by the way, that Bucs Seahawks game. We were watching that at dinner.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really
so
good
you're
game.
on the Seahawks. Why not the Jaguars? Because I'm on the Jaguars, so I want to know why.
Because I have no faith in their offense. Their offense is horrible. Brian Thomas Jr. is garbage. That new kid, they don't know what to do with him. I have zero confidence.
The running back, Basil Tootin?
No. Hunter. They don't know what to do with
Travis, yeah.
They don't know what to do with him. So,
but didn't we know that was going to happen?
Of course, you knew that was going to happen.
That player doesn't work.
No, nor does. I'm sorry, ATN isn't just like unbelievably good after 5th year in the league or whatever the fuck it is.
That was terrible last year.
He's not. And then that leaves you with Trevor Lawrence, who, if he doesn't have 60 yards rushing and we have 2 rushing touchdowns, I don't even remember. But I'm sorry, that team's not good. Their defense is unbelievable. I'll give that all the credit in the world. But their offense, I'm not going to bet on a team that I don't trust your offense. Defense might win championships, and they might win that division because that division is horrible. But they're not going to continually compete with people outside of their division.
Yeah, I like everything about the Seahawks more than the Jaguars outside of the fact they have Darnold under center. But that means I have to back Lawrence. And who wants to do that? Well,
yeah, you have to back Lawrence. They have JSN, they have Ken Walker, they have Charbonnet, and garbage Sam Darnold is. He's a pumpkin. Whatever. He's going to turn into a pumpkin sooner or later. But
Halloween. Nice reference.
Well, for now,
right?
It's close enough.
Well, Cinderella to Halloween. I think I just thought pumpkin, so that's where I went with it. But regardless. Right, isn't it Cinderella? The thing turns back into a pumpkin?
But yeah.
Or carriage?
Yeah.
Disney.
But I mean, it's a close enough reference to the fall season as a whole.
Sure, right.
Because you're not going to be seeing pumpkins in the spring. So
we're done with pumpkins in a couple of weeks here.
So I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to pick Jacksonville. I don't like Jacksonville. Dad's like, how about your Florida team, man? How about you guys down there in Jacksonville? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jacksonville's so far away from South Florida.
It's like 5 hours away from me, Pops. I love you so much.
Not even close.
It's like saying Tampa's my team. What the fuck are you talking about? It's the opposite coast.
Yeah, I mean, once you pass Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens, you're kind of done with South Florida. And even that is like a stretch for at least the Miami team. That's all you got down there, right?
I'm like 45 minutes from Miami, where I live.
Is it really that far from there? Or you hop traffic? No traffic.
No traffic to get to downtown Miami. It's over an hour.
No traffic
to get to downtown Miami.
Well, we lived in Coral Gables, and I want to say every time that we ran up to Palm Beach Gardens, again, this was 03 to 07.
30 minutes.
It would be 45 minutes.
At most.
Yeah, but you're saying trying it's over an hour to get
because you can't drive in Miami. It's impossible. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't get
well,
down
it's
to
gotten
fucking,
only worse over the past.
It gets worse and
10
worse.
Years, 15
but
years.
I mean, if I'm going to Coral Gables from here, I just hop right on 95. We'll be there in 25 minutes.
Oh, so you're just saying it's all the traffic?
Not 95
heading
Turnpike.
Not 95. Yeah, it's getting off.
Yeah. That's the shitty part.
95 getting off and then going east. Okay, so we're on opposite sides there, basically for the same reason. I hate one quarterback, you hate the other. So that's where that'll be. We'll see what happens there. I really like the Jaguars. But anyway, next game, and this is the big game of the weekend. This is also going to be an evening game where we get a good Sunday nighter here with the Chiefs, who cost me a good chunk of change last week, taking on the Detroit Lions. Right now, the Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites at home. 52.5 is the over-under. That is the most for the week. They are expecting fireworks out of this one. And if you want to look at the stats right now, the sharps are on the Chiefs, but the tickets and the money are both on Lions a lot too. 84% of the tickets and 92% of the money pool. So I'm just going to come out and say it. This is my lock of the week. I am all over the Chiefs. I love the Chiefs in this spot. This is what makes me a square because I can't divorce myself from it. The Lions have injuries in the secondary, and I don't trust Goff on the road. I don't care that he has proven me wrong. So now you prove me wrong.
I'm not picking Kansas City.
I mean, prove me wrong.
What do you mean, dude? They're fine. They found ways to win last year, and they're finding ways to lose this year.
Fair enough. But you still got to argue Lions. You can't just write that the Chiefs lose.
Well, what's the Chiefs? The Chiefs' run defense is not as good as their pass defense. Their passing defense is the best part of their defense. So if you're going to break this game down, first off, it's going to be an under, which I'm betting, because they're not going to get to 50 points.
52.5 is a lot of points.
Oh, it's 49 on Hard Rock. 49.5. 52.5 is a lot.
52.5 is a lot. Well, let me see. I just want to make sure that I didn't write it down.
That's another field goal.
Here we go. Nope, 52.5 on FanDuel as of right now.
Yeah, so that's 3 more points. I'll take that even better. I mean, that's a shitload of points, but
a lot.
I just think this is going to be a game that is full of all the Amon-Ra St. Brown crossers, the dump offs to the running backs, and they're just going to play that possession game. And as bad as their run defense is, I mean, Kansas City's run defense is it's not that bad, but I mean, it's from what you can see, they're just finding ways to lose those third downs, right, and lose those second and longs, and I'm not used to seeing them do that. And when I watched them lose to Jacksonville last week, it wasn't even that they had those crazy plays, the 99-yard interception return. It was more the soul of that team is not the same.
And the soul, the intangibles. I love it.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, though. You've watched them enough. You've seen the eye test. They are not playing the same way they did the past 3-4 years. They're not.
Fair.
Sorry.
They're getting their offense back, though. So, I mean, things are starting to fall into place a little bit more than they had at the beginning of the year. The Lions here, that losing those 2 guys in the secondary against the Chiefs here on the road doesn't put at least a little bit of fear in you on a 2.5-point spread.
I'm just going to quote Adam Azer, and this is why it doesn't matter to me, but Adam Azer gave a statistic on Fantasy Football Today, I don't know, maybe a couple days ago, about the deep ball throws for Patrick Mahomes and how he is ranked in the bottom 3.
Oh, he's got to be.
For completion.
He just chucks it up right now. That's what's going on.
Right. And so that's why losing those guys doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It just doesn't. I get Tyquan Thornton's making some ridiculous catches, but
he's a weird fantasy own because what do you do with him?
I have more. Xavier Worthy is my number. Nico Collins and Xavier Worthy are my top 2 players going into this fantasy season, and Xavier Worthy got injured and is not utilized as much in the past 2 games, and maybe it's just him working back, and maybe this will be a breakout game for him where they're actually going to do that. But until I see that, until I see what Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton, and no semblance of a running game whatsoever. I've been sitting on their 3rd string running back in every league I'm in for weeks now because they have 0 pop to their running game, which means it all falls on Mahomes, and Mahomes has to just play basketball, but in a football manner.
Yeah, I got you. I think a lot of the unofficial preseason worked against the Chiefs. And I think over the past 2 games, I kind of seen some of that iron itself out. I think they should have won last week. They didn't. That's what happens. But I think that they should have. I think last week's result was really flimsy. And I give credit to the Lions. I hate going against them in this spot. I just like the Chiefs at home with the refs, with an offense where things are starting to piece together, and a defense where they've had to answer questions all week about that final fucking touchdown play, which was ridiculous, was patently offensive, especially Chris Jones. I'm like standing up and just watching him. What the fuck? What are you doing?
Well, the interviews I saw regarding that play, and I'm not defending him, but
are you going to the brother deal because the brother passed away, right? So people were saying he wasn't right in good headspace, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, no.
I thought I read something about that.
He thought the guy got touched when he dropped the ball. And so that's why he stopped. He thought the play had been dead.
Oh, I mean, but if everybody else is going, why would you continue to think that?
Well, a lot of people just keep moving after the play's dead.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I think that's pretty flimsy.
That's
reading something about his brother passing away, and then he's got no brother. Unless I'm, I don't know. I thought they said. I thought they said something about a death. All right, I could be making shit up and just reading somebody's stupid X feed, whatever. It doesn't matter. My point was that I don't care what excuses there was. You could even say he thought it was blown dead. You don't quit until the referee. If the play is dead, the referees will blow the whistle incessantly until the play is over. So there's no point in you quitting on a play until the refs just blow the whistle in your fucking helmet and tell you it's over, dude. The play is over.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's, can't change it now.
No. Well, my point is I think that the defense will have a solid game here at home, and so I went with the Chiefs, and you went with the Lions. So that will do the 2 big games, and we will just rip through because I know we have gone long here, and it's Saturday night, and we all want to wrap up and do a little something before we end up hitting the hay here. So let's go on to the rest of the games.
3rd down.
And we will just start on Sunday morning. We got another 9:30 European game overseas. Broncos Jets. Broncos favored by 7. 43 is the 43.5 is the over under. Who are you going to take here?
I'm gonna have to go with the underdog.
You're going with the Jets. I'm going with the Broncos here. 7 is a lot of points, but the Jets are really bad. So trifecta game for those that are interested. Everybody in on the Broncos. So we're going to be opposite sides. You're going to take the Jets there in the early Sunday game. So next up, hold on, is going to be the 1:00 games. Pittsburgh hosting the Browns. Pittsburgh favored by 5.5. 38.5 is the over-under here. Not expecting any points. That is the lowest over-under of the week. Sharps in on Cleveland. Everybody else on the Steelers. I'm going to take the Browns in the 5.5 here. I like the Steelers to win. Browns in the 5.5.
I took the Browns too.
Chargers, Dolphins, this one down by you. Dolphins are going to be a home dog to the Chargers. It was 4.5. It is now 3.5. All these lines, by the way, brought to you by FanDuel. You can see that if you're following on YouTube. If you're on the podcast audio feed, now you just know. Chargers 3.5, 43.5 is the over-under here. Sharps and money in on the Chargers.
Yeah, I took the Chargers.
I took the Chargers too. The Dolphins, that might be finally it for Mr. McDaniel and his flood pants that he keeps wearing.
They'll never fire him, man.
I mean, at a certain point, it's just over, right?
They're not going to.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a quarterback. I mean, Daboll was in the same situation, but Daboll has Dart to lean into, and look at a change of what something like that can do to a franchise. Tua has been there. I mean, like, there's nothing to save McDaniel. Instead, they just want to ride out the season. But conversation for another podcast. Pats, Saints. This one in New Orleans. Another home dog here, as New England is 3.5-point favorites to the New England is 3.5-point favorites to New Orleans. 2 news. A lot of news in that sentence. 45.5 is the over-under. Who are you going to take?
Who do you like?
I like the Pats.
Yeah, I like the
Saints
Pats
should have
too.
lost last week. The Pats went on the road and beat Buffalo. Granted, Buffalo didn't play a great game, but
yeah, I know. I took the Pats too.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about this because I don't.
I hate
really
3.5 with any team that's still developing, but the Saints are really not good.
No, I don't like the Saints at all, but they did make the Giants look like shit in the second half, so I was confused.
Whatever. Saints lose that game if they don't return that fumble for a touchdown. So I'm not talking about that Giants game anymore. We are on to bigger and better things. We're on to the 2 CTE brothers. That's what we're doing. So Colts, Cardinals, this game in Indianapolis, it sounds as though we just heard before we went on the pod that Kyler Murray's out, and that is reflected in the spread as the 6.5-point spread earlier this morning is now 9.5. It was 7.5 before when they started talking about him missing. They finally put him as out, and now the Colts are 9.5-point favorites. I don't even know. The 47.5 was the latest on the over and under. I don't know what to do with this game. I love the Colts at 6.5. I like them at 7. I like them a little less at 7.5. 9.5 is a ton of points. Jacoby Brissett, that flip to a new quarterback. Maybe he'll be more functional than Kyler is, but he's also terrible. He's been around forever. I don't know. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, I put them in as my survivor for the week, which is probably going to be a safe bet. But
yep, me too. I had him as my survivor. We're back-to-back weeks picking the same team. We were Detroit last week, Indianapolis this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I took Indy, but that was I wouldn't be surprised if they don't cover the 9.5. That's a lot of points. Brissett's just a game manager. He's not going to put up 100 points, but he just knows how to manage a game.
Yeah, I hate the possibility of Brissett going in there as an unknown and for whatever reason somehow pulling this game off, right? Whether it was game manager, Harrison ends up having a big game. They run the offense different. Not that I think it's going to happen, but that's what I get scared of picking them as a survivor.
Yeah, of course.
So, are you going to take Jaguars here or what?
Jaguars?
Colts. Colts, or are you going to take in the Cardinals?
Yeah, Colts.
Both in on Indy. Rams, Ravens. Rams favored by 7 on the road. Ravens out everybody again. 44.5 is the over-under. I'm going to take Los Angeles here.
Yeah.
It definitely a lot of points. I get it. But, I mean, the Ravens have what? Nothing.
Yeah. I'll take the Rams.
Final 1:00 game, Cowboys, Panthers, this game in Carolina. A lot of people talking up Carolina here at home. Like I said, Panthers 3-point underdogs. 49.5 is the over-under. I don't care. Trifecta game, everybody in on the Cowboys. That money pool number might flip over to the Panthers, but at least for the meantime, I am not going to back Bryce Young. I'm going to end up going with Dallas here, even though they have a flimsy defense. I don't believe in it, and maybe Bryce Young could pull a horseshoe out of his ass, but
Dallas, 100%.
right. So that's it for the ones. We're both in on Dallas. Dallas is actually one of my my super picks too. So 4:00 games. First one, your Raiders versus the Titans, 4.5 in favor of the hometown Las Vegas team. 41.5 is the over/under. It looks like the money pool is in on the Raiders, sharps and tickets on the Titans. You're going to pick your Raiders here?
Yeah, I took the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know what to do here.
They're gonna lose, but I'll pick them.
4.5 was just too much for me, so I ended up taking the Titans. But the Titans are such. This is like two bottom of the barrel teams. I hate them for different reasons each. I don't know what to do. Give me the Titans in this one. So I want to pick the Raiders.
I just like the linebacker from the Titans. That's the only thing I care about in that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
zero. I'm just so sick to my stomach about how bad the Raiders have been for so long now. I'm just so over it.
This could be just like a Genty 200-yard game, and they end up winning by like 2 touchdowns.
If Genty winds up being Rookie of the Year, I'll get a Genty jersey. But I mean,
well, he'd have to beat Ibuka.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You never know. Once Evans comes back and the numbers come back, the stats come back down to earth if they do, because Genty's just dialing it up now.
Ibuka's just an incredible sell high if you can. You could probably turn him into like a fucking Jamar Chase at this point.
I wanted him in the preseason. I love him in this spot.
I zero interest in. Yeah, I don't know.
So, all right. So that's that game. Then we go to Buccaneers 49ers. Obviously, injuries have changed this game all around. Buccaneers favored at home here by 3.5. 47.5 is the over/under. Do you like Mac Jones? No
49ers.
Pearsall? Yep, me too.
Yeah, 49ers.
So Packers, Bengals, 14.5 here. We don't know about Jamar Chase. He's got an illness.
Matter.
Might not play. Packers at 14.5 going against Joe Flacco, who beat them in Cleveland just 3 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yep, with the best Packers with the best defense in the league. Yeah, the Packers are probably going to win by 30.
Yeah, all right, so we're both in on the Packers. 44.5 is the over/under in that one. And so then we got 2 games left, and both of these games are the Monday Night Football games. And those games end up being the first one, the Bills versus the Falcons. Bills favored in Atlanta by 4.5. Over/under is 49.5. I don't know. 4.5 is a little rich for my blood, but why would I ever pick the Falcons? Not to mention the Bills just came off an awful loss at home. So
yeah, Buffalo for sure.
Right, Buffalo in this one. And then the other Monday night game is Commanders-Bears. Commanders by 4.5. Again, like a point richer than I'd like. 49.5 is the over/under. But if I go against the Commanders here at home, it means I got to take the Bears, who have just shown no consistency whatsoever. Maybe the bye week,
but they're coming off a bye. Man, that's big.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I got to take Daniels, even though he's banged up. I got to take Daniels at home here. I want to take the Bears so bad. I feel like the Bears are a better play.
I took the Bears.
Yeah, I feel like the Bears are a better play.
I took the Bears, and then I bet Washington money line later. And
I didn't bet either of these teams, but I'm going to stick to the Commanders. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels at home. That's what I'm going to do there. So that's it for all of the games. That brings us to our wagering section of the program.
4th down.
And we will do it like this. I changed it last week, Chris, when you were not here. But since you are in the lead, if there's anything of mine that you should like and want to steal, it only makes sense that I go first. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, as you can see, Chris just treated himself to something out of his refrigerator as he just opens it up and pounds a drink over his microphone as I
Sorry.
continue on with the program. Oh, no, it's great. It's broadcast. It's great broadcasting. This is
Yep.
award-winning content creation.
That's why we're sponsored.
Yes, it is why we're sponsored. Hans Auto Body. If you ever get in a wreck, take it there. 440 Pulse Ave, Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Not
07417.
07417. Yes, correct. And if you need it on the phone, 201-891-0013. That will be Hans Auto Body into perpetuity. So
that's a landline.
That is a landline. Yeah, that is a land, not a VoIP, just old school land. It goes to a rotary phone actually, so it's got an old school bell on the inside of the telephone. All right, so I will give mine. Here it is. My lock, as I said, Kansas City. Give me Kansas City. My survivor is Indianapolis, Indiana. What the fuck am I talking about? As for my super contest picks, New England -3.5, Jacksonville +1.5. I took Indianapolis. I'm going to take Indianapolis still, even though I don't know if I really like the 9.5. Dallas -3 and Kansas City -2.5. So over to you. Who are you doing for your best bet?
Dallas.
Dallas it is. As for your survivor, we already covered that. That is going to be Indianapolis. And so now we go to your super contest picks.
Yeah. So we'll go with Cleveland.
Ooh, Cleveland. Look at that. Okay.
New England.
Oh, we're the same there. I like the sound of that.
Indy.
That's 2 for the brothers.
The Rams.
The L.A. Rams. I was thinking about it. It was just the spread was a little too much.
And Buffalo.
So we are together with New England and Indianapolis and differ everywhere else. So this brings us to the wager part of the show. And I will give you all of mine. I am going to start with some season-long bets that I'm adding in here. They're all $50. So my starting bankroll right now is $6,009. I am going to throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 250 of that is going toward long form season bets. My first one is going to be 2 MVP bets. I am going to go $50 on Daniel Jones, currently at plus 2,700. So that's 50 for 1,400. And then I'm going Matt Stafford at plus 1,400. So the 50 will land at 750. I'm going to do an offensive player of the year. I'm going to do McCaffrey, currently 50 for 350 there. Give me defensive player of the year. Brian Burns, currently leading the league in sacks because he played one more game so far. But if you have watched the New York Giants at all, their defensive line is playing phenomenal, and Burns is playing the best of the bunch. Carter's been pretty good too, but Burns is just having a standout season. And for him to be at plus 4,000 is so egregiously priced that I'm buying this just to see if I could get a couple of bucks. And if the trend continues, I'll ride it out for as long as I can. Because right now, number 1 and 2, I think, is Hutchinson and Parsons. Right. And it's like none of them have 7 sacks. I mean, get the fuck out of here with that. So give me Burns, $50 for 2,050 coming back. And then offensive rookie of the year. Ashton Genty. I'm taking him at plus 1,000. That's 50 for 550. And Buka is the leader in the clubhouse right now. I already have him. So now I'm taking Genty at plus 1,000 there. So those are my season-long bets. Now to this week. Right out of the gate, I'm gassing on Kansas City again. I am going to take Kansas City minus 2.5. And this doesn't make sense because I talked earlier in the program about how I upped my spending from week to week. I started off with a couple $100. Then past 3 weeks, I've been up to 1,000. I should be dialing it down, bankroll management, but I'm not doing it here. It's why I'm not a professional gambler. I'm taking Kansas City minus 2.5 for 509. So that'll return 972. Then I'm going to take 50. I'm going to put it on Kansas City minus 6.5. That 50 returns 141. And then I'm taking Kansas City minus 9.5. And that's going to be $50 for 193 in return. So, like I said, I love Kansas City. I think the -6.5 and the -9.5 is a little ridiculous. But if things fall apart for Detroit on the road, all the power to me. So that'll bring me to the other bets I made. These were field goal parlays. I have had a change on the fly here because I had Indianapolis in a bunch of these. I brought them down to -2.5. And now I am going to have to adjust it because I can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. It's the odds don't work for a lot of these things. So here's what I'm doing. Denver, New England, Jacksonville, that's been the same. All by -2.5. That alt line parlay, 50 for 239. Then give me those three plus Dallas now. This is where I had Indianapolis. Give me Dallas -2.5. Give me 25. That's going to net around 160. I have to adjust it. I don't know what the final is. Then give me Kansas City on top of that as a separate bet. So it's going to be a 3, 4, and then 5-team parlay with Kansas City -2.5, 25 for 307. Now give me the blowout city bet. Jacksonville -6.5, New England -6.5. That's 25 for about 185. Then give me a second one. Add Kansas City in there for -6.5. That's 25 for 521. I've got 3 moneyline parlay bets coming in here. Again, I don't know what it is because I have Indianapolis involved in these, so there's going to be a slight adjustment to the payouts. I'll have to check that. My first one, Denver, Rams, Indianapolis, Green Bay, Kansas City. That was 100 for 389. I don't know what it'll be. But if that lands, then on top of that, also give me those 5 teams plus Pittsburgh and New England. That's 50 for 410. Then give me the original 5 I mentioned, Denver, Rams, Indianapolis, Green Bay, Kansas City, with Jacksonville and Dallas instead to make that 7-team parlay, 50 for 598. Then I'm going to do a dogs winning since the dogs keep hitting and winning. I'm going to go money line Cleveland, Tennessee, San Francisco. That's 25 for 560. And then just because I've been doing the past couple of weeks and they haven't hit, I'm going to see if I can break the trend. Give me Denver, Indianapolis, Rams, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, 5 teams. Tease them all down. Give me the full 6 points on the tees, and that's 25 for 100. So that is everything for me for the week. So that brings me to $1,009 for all of the week bets, and then $250 off the top for the season long bets. Chris, to you.
Jeez Louise, bro.
I mean, it's the same bets I've been doing last year, the year before. Both those years I was okay. This year has been a disaster. What happened is I probably went too much with the season-long bets that I started at 8,500, and then I've just had a brutal beginning of it. After this, at 5,000, if none of this hits at all, I'm just going to have to go to like a couple of $25 bets, and it's just all for fun. It's been not a great approach, right? Like I've got to learn. Last year they said it was all about the square, and maybe that was it. I don't think so because I haven't had a year as bad as this. I had 1 year as bad as this a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I think. But I really thought I had gotten away from that. But again, this week, if I get hit up with Jacksonville will kill at least 3 bets. So, and then Kansas City, if they lose, that's my biggest bet of the week. So, again, my bet structure, I'm always happy with it, but I don't think it's a good way to bet. Or maybe it might be the bet size. I think my unit size is just too big. But we're going to find out. So go ahead. We're going to find out. And I do similar betting.
He goes, I think my unit size is too big.
See what yeah.
Ain't that something? You fucking...
That's great! That's just great!
I didn't even notice it.
All right. Okay, porn star.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You shouldn't have said that.
Right.
But I did.
But you did. And that was awkward.
Yeah.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
We are taking back our sponsor. Hans Auto Body is not our sponsor. So if you watch the show, do not relate us to that.
This was an affront to my senses.
All right.
Okay. So I am going to do what I always do because it's worked for me for years. I'm going to do a straight bet of my best bet. So I'll take
Dallas.
the 250 to win the 500.
It's less than 500. You never take out a vig, by the way.
No, it's not 500. I screwed up. It's 425. So 250 to win 425, and that's going to be Dallas minus 2.5. And I do take out a vig. I work off of what the app says. So
all right, go.
Moneyline parlay, 2-team. I'm going to take Indy, and I'm going to take Cleveland.
Indy, Cleveland. Okay.
And that's going to be 150 to win 650. Now, it might be different now because that was when it was at 6.5.
Yeah, it's going to come down.
But
I'll recalculate it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Then I'm going to do some of my alt line parlays. And I'm going to do 250 to win 900. That's going to be the Rams minus 2.5. That's going to be the Patriots plus 3.5.
Hold on. Rams minus what?
2.5.
Okay.
The Pats plus 3.5.
Okay. So you swung to the other side. Gotcha.
That's going to be Miami plus 10.5.
Okay.
And Seattle plus 3.5.
Okay. And what is that's 250 for 900?
Yeah.
Did you factor it with Seattle? Well, did you do it with your app where where is the dog?
I did it with Seattle as the favorite.
As the favorite. Okay. So you put the Pats, Miami, and Seattle all as dogs. Miami all the way up to 10.5. Rams favored by 2.5.
I really wanted to take the Chargers and bring it down, but then I thought the game's in Miami and it's going to be easier to bring it up. I have more faith in them playing better at home and not losing by two scores.
Yeah, no, I got you. Okay. All right, so 250 for 900.
Next one is 250 to win 1250.
Ooh.
And
juicy.
The only thing that's juicy about it is that Green Bay minus 6.5. So I took a touchdown off of that.
Sure.
And I took San Francisco to win by 2.5. That's where the money came from.
Yeah, I like San Francisco in this spot here.
So San Francisco by minus 2.5, and then Detroit I brought up to a touchdown and a half. So plus 7.5.
Okay. That one's contra to what I think, but
yeah, I know. Then I got a $100 to win $750 Monday Night Football parlay. That's going to be Buffalo money line.
Okay.
With hitting the over of 49.5.
Oh, yeah, it is 49.5, correct?
Yep. And Washington money line.
You had mentioned that earlier.
With them going under 49.5. So 4-way parlay with both favorites as money lines and Buffalo going over, Washington going under.
Same point total, 49.5. Okay.
Yeah. That's all I'm doing. I think it's like $1,000.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's enough. That's enough.
$1,000,
I mean,
yeah.
You don't want to be like me and just watch your fucking bankroll go into the toilet.
Your life force is running out.
I feel you. That's exactly what it is. All right. So with that said, we will now approach week 6 with anticipation and drooling at the hopes of actually getting a win. I don't know if that will happen, but we're going to find out soon enough. So thank you for listening. Punch it out. Chris, I will talk to you later. Remember, gamble responsibly, all that good stuff. 1-800-GAMBLER. And, for the tickets that you do throw out there, I hope you end up cashing. So that's it. I got nothing else. What about you?
I'm just dreading tomorrow because all I want to do is watch football, and the kids do not let me watch football, so I have to hide. I've been going to the fucking pool in the morning so I can watch the 9:30 game.
Oh,
going to the clubhouse pool and being like, I gotta go out for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know what the pool is because we're going to be sitting in a storm here at Northeastern.
Oh, I heard. That's the reason.
Northeastern.
Northeaster. That's why I'm taking the Jets, by the way. That was the reason.
Oh, okay. All right, that's it. We're punching out. We're done. We're really done this time.
Right.
No more. Peace. See ya.